When we set this presentation up, I had a conference call, and Joe and John were both on there, and I don't know which one of them said it, but they said champions. They said, Mark, these are our champions. So you're valued. And one of the things I want to get across today in the presentation is to help you understand that when we value something, we take care of it, right? And we've already heard that you are considered champions by the people in the agency, the people that provide this service. And another analogy that I really like is even your heart pumps blood to itself before the blood goes anywhere else in the body. Now, the heart isn't being selfish. We all know what happens if the heart doesn't get blood. That's what we call it, a heart attack. That's why they call it a coronary. The coronary artery is blocked and not providing blood to the rest of the heart, and then the rest of the body suffers. So we want to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves, always. I like that. Can I get an amen? Amen. I always wanted to do that. Thank you for starting that. So I'm glad you agree with me. I'm glad that you understand it, because that is so important. A lot of people don't. I always say the whole point of fitness is to challenge yourself, not to punish yourself. Those people that do the extreme exercises where it's 90 degrees out and they're running and it looks like they're ready to fall over. I call those people fidiots. They're so into fitness and they focus so much on fitness, they sacrifice their health. And we're finding out that moderate exercise is the way to go, not crossing that line. And that's how we grow in anything. We take what we can do and we just go a little bit beyond that, outside of. So when we're talking about taking better care of ourselves, you folks already know a little bit about what I'm talking about because you're here. You're doing something that's very important. I've said for years to my own patients, people think that you get old and you slow down. That's not true. You slow down and that's when you get old, right? Always be moving, always be active. And I've seen that with people. And it's a proven fact. People who volunteer live longer. They're healthier. Now there's a catch to this. You have to do it for other people. You can't do it for yourself. You can't volunteer and have the attitude, look at me. Because we find, again, scientifically proven, those people don't benefit as much as those people who do it for everybody else. And so, again, you already have that under your belt. You're already doing that. And another thing that I've noticed is, and again, another proven fact, people who volunteer have a better outlook, have a rosier view of the world. They're more optimistic. And again, I've seen this, and you probably have witnessed this for yourself. I've seen retirees who just kick back and do nothing all day, and they are some of the most miserable people that you're ever going to meet. But the people that I know that retire and then become active and volunteer and provide service, they're happy. Every day the sun is shining. Every day the birds are singing for them. So, I love it. What a good group. You know that part of it. So you're already doing some things to take care of yourself and to benefit yourself, as well at the same time benefiting other people. And that's a beautiful thing. When you can have a system like that where everybody wins.
You're right.
So thank you. I'm going to play this back for my wife. Somebody said that I'm right. Beautiful. I get an amen, say it again, and you're right. When they said on the phone that you folks are champions, I have never heard. I speak to a lot of businesses. I speak to a lot of associations, a lot of different organizations, and I have never heard anybody refer to their people as champions. And I've never got an amen, so this is a beautiful day. I don't normally play the lottery, but I think I'm going to buy a ticket tonight. But we want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And one of the things, again, when we talk about fitness, again, it's not about like the magazine covers. It's not about sweat, six-packs, and sex appeal, like the media would have you believe. It's just doing the things that you need to do to perform your daily activities, having enough energy to do it, and not get hurt. And I always say this, a football player doesn't train like a baseball player. And a baseball player doesn't train like a hockey player. So neither should we. We need to find things to do to help us do what we need to do. One of the best things that you can do before you get really into the specific fitness details is just to stay active physically. You know, we hear a lot about exercise, but just physical activity is important. What I always say is healthy people just have ants in their pants. We just want to stay busy, stay active. And in fact, we have a term for those people who sit all day and then go to the gym for an hour or so. We call those people active couch potatoes. Because they are active, but it's still, they're for the most part, they're a couch potato. And what I always tell my patients in my talks, I talk about stirring the pot. Do you have any cooks in the audience here? Anybody who cooks sauce or gravy or soup? What do you have to do throughout that process? You have to stir the pot. You can't just stir it a lot at the beginning. You can't just stir it a lot in the middle. You can't just stir it a lot at the end because it sticks to the side. It burns on the bottom. It gets lumpy. You know, one time my wife was making sauce for dinner. And she asked me, she had to run some errands, and she put me in charge of stirring the pot. Don't get ahead of me. But her mistake was that it was a Sunday during football season. So, hours later, when the car pulled into the driveway, and I got that feeling in the pit of my stomach, like, was I supposed to do something? And I ran into the kitchen, and I stirred my heart out. But it wasn't enough to undo the stirring that I didn't do throughout the day. And when she came in and she said, "Did you stir that pot?" I looked her right in the eye and I said, "Yes, I did." And when she saw the pot and something had gone wrong, I blamed the spoon. I said, "I think the spoon, there's something wrong with the spoon. I think we need a new wooden spoon." Make sure that we continue to take care of ourselves in that way. And the other things that we need to do, we need to make sure we manage our stress. And just being aware of the things that bother us. The things that drive us crazy, and get away from them if we can. Or minimize the effect on us. My grandfather used, when we were growing up, my grandfather, if anything was ever bothering us, he always did some wonderful advice. He's still alive, he's 95 years old. But I can always remember him saying, if you stay away from dog poop, it won't stink. And that's true. How much simpler can it get? Now, one of the hardest things to do as a speaker is to speak before lunch. When you're the only thing in the way of lunch or dinner or the bar, it's very challenging. So I wish I had more time to spend with you, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. I do want to make sure that you understand some of the things we talked about, and then when you get home tonight, well, I know what's going to happen when you get home tonight. You're going to get home and you're going to say, "I met Mike Clark today." But after that, I hope that you say, "I learned some things, and I'm going to start to do them." Because the best time to start taking better care of yourself was before. The next best time is right now. The worst time to start taking better care of yourself is later. So again, do take some of these things and apply them. And it's not necessary to do everything at once. If you just make simple, small changes, eliminate a bad habit each week and replace it with a healthier habit. Over the course of a year, that's a lot of changes and a lot of improvement. And it's easy to make changes. Anybody can make a change. If a skunk walked into this room, it would change. It takes a special kind of person to improve things, and that's what you all do. You improve people's lives. You improve our community, and you make up for some of the bad news Mike mentioned before. So, again, keep doing what you're doing, and do the things that you need to do to take care of yourself so that you can keep on doing it. Because, again, you are special people. You are champions. And after lunch, you're going to be recognized and acknowledged, and the agency is going to show their gratitude for everything that you do. So enjoy the rest of the day, enjoy the rest of this, enjoy your lunch, and if I can ever act as a resource for you or anybody that you know, I'd be glad to help you out. And because I find that people do want to take better care of themselves. but they just don't know where to start, and there's so much misinformation and so much confusion out there.
Oh, say it again.
There is so much confusion out there. This is wonderful. I can't wait to tell my wife. So do take some of these things and apply them. And like I said, enjoy the rest of your day and just keep doing what you're doing. Thanks for your time.
One more time for Dr. Marc Tinsley. Let's give him an amen. Amen.